your baby's diaper. Like, come on. There we go. Okay, we're recording. But yes, we just want everyone to be present because this is a very, very, very special call tonight. We have two fine gentlemen, the Momen of MoMoney, talking with us tonight. And I'm actually really excited about this because someone needs to tell me how to talk to men. Like, I thought I knew how to talk to a man, but like then we got shampoo and beauty products involved, and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm just really happy to introduce. We have Joe. Joe is actually on my direct team, so this is really, really exciting to be on Joe's call. And then we have Penny, Antonio. This is an honor. So before we get started, thank you for your time, both of you guys. Lay it out. Give us all the tea. Don't hold anything back. But guys, take it away.
Coco, thank you very much for that introduction. Well, for everybody who is here and that doesn't know me, my name is Joe. I am on Coco's team and I joined under my girl, Kara. But we live out in Florida, specifically in Lakeland. I'm from Massachusetts, but when I originally met Kara, it was when I moved out to Florida. She had been working at Ulta, so she was already into the products. Obviously, as a male, I didn't really think of much products besides a bar soap or whatnot. So she got me into the products, she got me into the routine, but then that's when she found Monet through Coco, and it was pretty much shoving products down my face from there because she had everything, So I was helping her out with her videos, using the products, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I got into a routine and shit, I felt good too. So it all worked out. Then fast forward maybe like a year, and we went to an event out in Orlando. It was the Summer Lovin' event, and that's where actually I got to meet Ray, and I got to hear him speak too, which was really cool because, I mean, we're in a female-dominated industry, but then to hear him speak and his story and why he started this up, it really resonated and connected with me. So after that night, that next day, pretty much I was sold. I mean, I had already been using the products, I already loved them. So that's really from then on, once I joined onto the business, it was like a mission for me to just help other men and get them into the same healthy habits that I'm in and share the knowledge and the love that I have for these products. So where I've recently found success is through like adapting this 5 foot rule. So basically anybody who is in 5 feet of me, I'm talking to about this business. Like nobody's getting around me, especially in the gym. That's really, I mean, so my main job is a sales role at home. It's 9 to 6, so it takes up majority of my day. Then we, eat dinner, get JJ to sleep. Karen and I have a 2-year-old son, by the way. He's the best, but he takes up a lot of time too, and we get him to sleep at like 8, and then I plug into the business, which is great because that's when I can plug in, to my social media or reach out to whatever. But then I'm up at 4 in the morning and I'm at the gym. So that's really my only source of like being interactive with people throughout the days. So I'm talking to people at the gym, all the time. And that's actually where I think is going to be my most successful VIP has come out of. I was in the sauna. So I just started shooting the shit with him. He had something in his cup. He was drinking something, and I had asked him what's in your cup, and it ended up being some greens. But we just pretty much continued on the conversation from there. I introduced the product and the business and what we do, and he ended up getting energy sticks and the greens. So he's actually hyping it up with 2 other people. He's got
just a few minutes
going out and stuff, which is great.
I was telling the girl, because she goes, we can talk right now. And I was all like, she goes, you know what? It sounds like you had a long night.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt, Joe. Can we all make sure that our microphones are on mute real quick, please?
It's all good. What I was going to say is it's really good for me to have that success or that VIP come out of the gym or in person, because from the start, you know, that dirt list or the people who you think are going to end up, you know, signing on, it really didn't work out that well. It didn't get the ball rolling for me. So this is where I've had my success, and I've really been utilizing that to keep this momentum, you know, rolling. However, this man right here, Penny, he's been doing, or Antonio, he's been killing it all around, you know, so it's been great to watch him. And I know he's going to share like plenty of valuable takeaways for us here, and just maybe just a new perspective on how to approach men. I know I myself keep it really simple, share product knowledge, you know, and connect with them, you know, hype them up. But either way, I know from here he's gonna take it and really give us a good takeaway. So without further ado, Antonio, man.
Can you guys hear me? We good? Throw a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. I can see you guys. Good. All right. Oh man. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy end of month. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I love what we get a chance to do. I'm Antonio. For those of you that don't know me, a lot of people call me Penny because my last name is Penman. I've been a part of My Nate for about 17 months, 17, 18 months now. And I never thought that I would be here. I grew up in Oakland, born and raised, single mom. So if there's any single moms on the call, I love you guys. You have a special place in my heart. But she didn't really teach me how to take care of myself as far as, you know, the skincare, having a routine. It wasn't really a thing in our home. So I used to just use whatever smelled good and whatever was on sale. You know, you go down the aisle, and if it smells good, you buy it. If it's on sale, you buy it. But not really understanding how toxic the products were. I went to school at Utah State. I played football for 4 years, so I'm a big macho guy. But after football, I was lost for about 8 years of my life trying to figure it out. I had a lot of party friends, you know, people that we just, you know, we smoke and we drink and we have fun. And that was about it. But it was just a lot of toxic in that environment. And I was like, I want something more out of life. I was working 2 jobs, 6 days a week with with 2 kids at home. And I felt like a failed father because I was always working and I wasn't with them. And one day I was like, you know what? Something got to give. I see all of these people traveling and having fun. Like, what are they doing in life? And my goddad was like, that's network marketing. And you know, I couldn't be skeptical and broke. You know, I was taught to go to school, get a good education, get a good job. And how many people that did that? Drop a 2 in the chat. If you went to school, got a good education, you got a good job, and he was like, you know, this is it. But I still want my time. I just want to buy back some of my time. I see a lot of twos. I just want to buy back some of my time. But like I said, I couldn't be skeptical and broke when he brought up the opportunity. And so I decided to say yes to network marketing. So I was in a couple companies before I started My Nate. But it really taught me a lot about how to run this industry, what this industry can do. And I got around just supportive people, you know, like the network and the community of what network marketing is. And so fast forward a few years, I was serving and a friend came in and I was asking her about her business. How's your business going? And she's just like, well, I need 2 VIPs to hit this bonus. And I'm like, what the hell is a VIP? She broke it down to me at the table. I called a friend. I said, hey, you're signing up for this shampoo business. Don't ask me any questions. You're signing up. And I signed up as the other VIP. So she got her bonus at the table. I bought the men's skincare. Just like any other man out there, probably tried it a couple times and shelved it, right? And then once I got intentional with using the products, my skin started shining. People started to notice, and I was at work, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing? What are you putting on your face?" And I was like, instead of sending people to her, I'm just gonna sign up as a market partner. But I didn't see any men doing this. I didn't see any black people doing this. But what I really wanted to do, I was like, you know what? People need this. Everybody need what we have from a health standpoint. And so I was like, you know what? When people look at this company, I want them to say, yes, there are men doing this. Yes, there's black people doing this. Right? I want them to know that I can relate to, you know, a lot of the questions or things that they may have. And so I just casually shared it with friends and family, and it just blew up. So my goal, I saw a huge gap between men and taking care of themselves, right? Like it's a lot of crusty ass dudes out there, they just don't care. They'll throw the water on their face or the soap. And a lot of people give excuses. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna go off of a few things that I've written down, but I like to go off the top. But I want you guys to write in the comments of something that you're looking for, maybe some questions you may have, so I can make sure that I'm speaking to you. But I put a package together. The first thing I did was I know that I didn't know everything, but I knew how the product made me feel. And I know a lot of people when they like, how do I talk to men and how do I talk to this? It's like men want to know the facts. Men want to know straight up, what is this going to do for me and why do I need that? And the men that I know is going to listen to a woman that's very confident in what they're talking about. But if you come to me and you're not confident in what you're sharing with me, I'm probably just going to say no. I don't care what it is because you're not confident in it. So men want to see the confidence and they want to know the facts. Why do I need this? And what is this going to do for me? And once I start connecting with the men and I'm like, hey, I put a package together, $100 package, the men's face wash, the scrub, and the moisturizer, 104, 117 out the door, right? And I'm thinking to myself, if these men can't spend $117 on themselves, then they have a lot of problems. They have a lot of problems. So I was like, $100, anybody can do that. I was seeing guys go to the bar. I was seeing them, in a club popping bottles. I would see them buy Jordans. I would see them buy all of these things. So any excuse of I can't afford that, I would go back to what they were doing and I would say, hey, you bought a pair of Jordans for $250. You could have had your products and more, right? And so what I would do is I would take everybody's excuses. I don't have time for that, which was a big thing. So I would make people feel stupid. You don't have time to wash your face, but you can sit there and watch a football game for 3 hours. You don't have time to wash your face, but you can sit up there and play a video game for 3 hours. And so I usually just take their excuses and I will make them look stupid for saying like, hey, you can't wash your face. Do you take a shower? Then you can use these products. Do you wash your hair? So then you can use these products. But I started to make it fun. I started doing fun events like football and face masks, where I invite the guys over for football and then we'll do face masks at halftime. Like they already in the building, so we'll do it. Or beards and beer, come get your beer wash and have some beer and just connect and just get together. But I started off with couples because I would get the ladies to bring their man, and then I would do fun events and stuff like that. But everywhere we go, we're connected with men, and so I would just simply ask them. I mean, I know you're like, how do I talk to men? It's like I would simply ask them, hey, do you have a skincare routine? Do you? If you say no, I will ask why. And I ask a lot of questions. I always say, why don't you have a skincare routine? Some of them were never taught. Some of them it just wasn't a thing in their household. Some of them just don't care, right? And then the ones that say yes, I do have a skincare routine. 9 times out of 10, it's horrible. It's toxic products, right? I was using 3-in-1s and 4-in-1s before. The same stuff I was putting on my nuts, I was putting on my face, right? And so it was horrible. So I know a lot of men out there doing the same thing. So I would say, hey, bro, if you're using the same soap on your body and on your face, this is why it's important to switch to these products. And so I created the education around why making the switch, why there's a such thing called a body wash and a face wash for a reason. Not a 2-in-1, 3-in-1. It defeats the purpose of what it is. That's just being lazy, but really just teaching them from a health standpoint of all the toxic products that they're putting on their bodies. I can't see the chat. Hold on, let me see if I can see chat. But when I first came in, I didn't know everything and I didn't want it to like try to sit up there and act like I knew everything. I was just very excited about the opportunity to change the game as far as bringing more men into the business. But I know a lot of people feel like they do have to know everything. And I always give this analogy. I say, if I'm driving a Ferrari, right, and I pull up on some guys that drive Ferrari all the time and they like, hey, what type of engine is that? And I sit up there and say something that I know it's not, like a 42 ZXY40. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right. And what I can do is I can say, hey, you know what? I don't know what engine this is, but I can call the person that sold me the car and I can get you that information. Right. And I can say, hey, I can't tell you that, but I can tell you how it make me feel when I'm behind the wheel. I can tell you how it make me feel when I'm using these products or what these products are doing for me. So I know there's a lot of people that always feel like they can't share something because they don't know everything about it, and you don't have to. And so when I came in, I was just very excited, and I was a professional introducer, and I was learning as much as I can. Um, now I have a ton of men on my team, and not just men that are sitting around. I got Tony Swingler, he on here. He came in his first month and hit MB. I have an MMB. I have two MMBs on the squad. We just brought Elijah. I think he on here. EJ. He's about a couple weeks in. He's really close to MMP. But really just showing these men that they belong here, and that and that it's important to really take care of yourself, but also share that, because we have something that can change the game for everybody. You can go in anybody's home right now and find toxic products, whether it's a body wash or a shampoo. So just really speaking to everybody on the importance of why it's important to switch to non-toxic products instead of using the Axe or the Old Spice or the Dove. And I can speak from that experience because I used to do all of that stuff. So I want to make sure that I want to open it up for any questions, because I can talk about this stuff all day and what I do, but I want to answer specific questions and really just get one-on-one with you guys, or whatever you might be struggling with, and talking to men or whatever you're struggling with in your business, and maybe we can answer some questions for you.
Hi, I have a question. Can I go off of mute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Maria. So I actually have two new guys who I literally just got off the onboarding, so that's why I was a few minutes late tonight. But my biggest question is, I've never had a guy like men on my team before. So as a female leader, how is the best way that I can lead them into success when it comes to like all of my scripts and all of like the way I talk is just so catered. It's just like girly, so how do I lead them into success when this is kind of like uncharted territory?
I feel like, see, the thing is, I feel like we kind of put too much into it, because these products are for human beings, right? These products are for human beings, not just, the only reason why this is female dominated because men are stupid. Okay, they're dumb as hell. They see this and be like, "Oh, this is for women." It's like, no, you wash your ass, bro. This is for you. But what I would do is I would get them around other men that are in this business. We have a group on Instagram. We also have a group on Telegram, where we connect as men. So any questions that you may have, but I would do the onboarding the same way. Same way you do it with the women, you do it with the men. There's no difference. You want them to reach out to people. You want them to try the products. You want them to use the products and do a video. You want them to do everything that the women are doing, right? But just cater it to just be themselves. You don't have to be anybody else. Be yourself. When I came in, I didn't want to be like anybody else. I was washing my face, like how I wash my face with the cleanser and the moisturizer. And so, but I will connect them with other men that are actually building this business so they can get their perspective. Because like I always say, women and women stir the pot a little different. So when women are together, they kind of stir the pot. Same thing with men. You want to feel like, hey, I belong here. It's relatable. And then we can connect with them that way. So if you wanna give them my information and have them reach out to me, I would love to have a Zoom like this and just connect with them and find out their goals. We're all one team. Like we're all one team. So don't feel like it's a burden, or it's just too much to reach out to me to connect with your guys. I'm here for that. This is what we're here for. But I would do it the same way you onboard everybody else, right? But I would get them around other men. I think we have a WhatsApp that they started with the men on my net as well that you can plug them into. But I like to get more personal, like personal Zoom, and we can connect that way and get them going.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your insight. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Antonio, can you see the chat, or did you want me to run off some questions that we have? Because we have a few questions in the chat.
I can see it now, but you can read them off and then I'll just go from there.
Yeah. Okay. So we have, what's one misconception you've noticed about men in this business, and how do we bring light to that to encourage more men that they can do this too?
That this is for women only. That's really the pushback that I've been getting. And then I just say, so washing your face is for women and not for men. I just ask a lot of questions. Like I said, I take their excuses or whatever the reasons why they say they can't do this, and I flip them on them. And it's it's really hard because you can't make anybody value what this is, right? You just have to keep showing them what this is. Um, most of the men that I even connected with, even the first guy that has an MMB right now, I went through a whole presentation and he still said no, right? And it was just like they want to see me doing it, and so just showing other men doing it. So if you have men, let's do a reel together. You know, like you and I can do a reel together. I have men on my team and we can all do a reel together to show that there's other men out there doing it. But I would say the biggest thing is men don't belong here because it's a female dominated thing. So they think it's more girly, like makeup. You know, when you think of like skincare, they kind of think of makeup. They say, hey, bro, I know you wash your face every day, and I know you wash your hair at some point, and I know you wash your ass. You know, these products are for you. And so really just getting the products for them. Sometimes you might have to trick them and just give them a body wash or something, or just give them something that they can use and give them a little
No.
sample. One of the biggest business builders that I have on my team, we tricked him and got him the stuff for Christmas. And now he, like, soon as he tried it, he was like, okay, it's a wrap. Like, once you get it on people, I don't know if you guys have partners. If you have partners, make it a fun date night idea, right? You know, if it's like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you guys are doing some type of date night thing where he's actually using the products more often than normal, and then just kind of go from there. But I would say the biggest thing is like, oh, it's not for men, it's only for women. And then I kind of just take every excuse and just throw that out of the way. And you know what else can help you guys? If we do more stuff like this, all the men just get together and do more calls like this, so you guys can have receipts to send to them.
Okay, sorry, I'm in between a crying child here.
Exactly.
So Angelina, she wants to know what the top 3 things are that she needs to touch on with, I'm sorry, hold on. I pitched my friend Mail. His first thing he said was, I didn't know men did that. So she shared your page with him, and she's actually supposed to talk with them tomorrow. Okay, so what are your top 3 things that you think she should hit on with them?
I would say, well, I would ask, like, why do you think men don't do this? Like, I'm telling you, I ask a lot of questions because it gets you the real answer of why they're saying no to this, right? So I would ask him, like, why do you think there's no men doing this? Like, do you think men don't wash their face? Do you think men don't wash their hair? It really, it's that simple. Like, I promise you, it's like a broken record over and over again. It comes back to the simple things of what it is. Be like, yeah, there's a lot of men that are doing this. There's a lot of men that's taking control of their health and look at it from a health standpoint. Like, what are you using now? And I can guarantee you 10 times out of 10 is toxic. And just say, this is why men are doing it. Men are doing it because this is more healthier, right? Men are doing it because they see the opportunity, and just show all the men that are doing it. But I would say the top 3 things would be, um, find out what he's using and show why Monet is a better option for this. Find out what he's doing for a living, and it does. I always say this is an and business. It doesn't matter what they're doing; they can do that and Monet. They can be, football coaches and do Monet. They can be janitors and do Monet. They can be teachers and do Monet. They can have 42 jobs and 62 careers and still do Monet. And so just find a way to plug Monet into it. So see what he might be looking for, maybe a community, maybe a little bit of extra money, or maybe he want to take some trips, but find out what he wants and then plug my name into what he's doing. And then just just show why this is beneficial for him to even use the products or be a part of the company. Joe, do you have anything to kind of piggyback off of that? Have any experiences you've had with men?
Like recently, what I've been doing is taking the approach of, showing them more so the initial investment side of it being low initial investment, because a lot of guys, care about, like Penny was saying, how much they can make, or what the facts about things are. So I've been, you real upfront and honest with people, because if you are looking at it in terms of an investment or return on your investment, I mean, it's obviously a no-brainer. So that's really the personal approach. I think that would be good on somebody new into this, and showing them that, like, it's a low startup cost for a very high return.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off of that as far as the low startup costs. I mean, it's a win-win. I don't know any other places you can spend $199 and have a global business in 10 different countries, right? And so that's very important to hit on as well. And we have that Smart Start program where we can show them how to make their investment back and more. And so it's a win-win. Everything is a win-win. You're not just paying $199 and getting nothing. You're actually getting products that you can use, and and samples, and go from there. Plus, it's 30-day money back guarantee. So it's always a win-win. So I said you can try it for 29 days, and if you don't like it, which I know that you will, and we have a super low return rate, people returning their products, and then just kind of go from there. But you hit on that low startup cost, which is a win-win. He has nothing to lose.
I actually have a question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead. I was just saying, I think there's a couple other.
Okay, so I'm wondering, because you said that, kind of how you approach the business to a guy versus a female is a little bit different, because guys just kind of want to know the money. They want to know the facts. So when a guy does sign up, is your approach to starting off their business any different than with a female? Does that make sense? No, it's the same.
It's the same, really. I mean, everybody, what we're here to do is share, and I always tell people to just be a professional introducer as I take them through the onboarding process. The reason why I say be a professional introducer is because it's like I always give like football analogies. I'm a football player. It's like, hey, you're a new quarterback, right? You're a new person in the game. Instead of just like hiking the ball and throwing it and just throwing it everywhere, and it could be a disaster, just hike the ball and hand it off to us, and we'll go score for you, right? Connect us on a three-way, put us on a Zoom, and as I'm talking to people, you're learning, and that's, I always tell people to do that. Everybody's gonna get their list of X amount of people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, and we're reaching out to them and letting them know exactly what we're doing. But we're also taking them through the onboarding process as we go. But I always tell people, you do not have to know everything. I just signed up a barber, and he was kind of overthinking it. I signed him up 2 days ago, and he was overthinking, like, oh, I got to know this, and oh, I got to know that. I said, no, you don't. Just be excited about it and introduce it. Tell people what you're doing, and I'll do the rest. I'll teach you. You're earning and learning at the same time. And so what he's doing right now is just get me on the phone with a whole bunch of people. And I love talking to them. He's listening to me and how I talk to them, how I recommend certain products, and going from there. But you do not have to know everything. It's the same onboarding process. You want to find your list of people. You want to, get in your back office and learn certain things and just go from there.
I just want to say thank you. That's awesome. That's really good insight, and I really appreciate it. I don't know how much time you guys have. We do have just a couple more questions, but if you just want
you guys, you got me. So just we
yay.
good. We good.
Yay. You're spoiling us. Okay.
Yeah, nah,
So,
seriously, y'all better stop acting shy, man. For real. I don't want to look.
say,
Don't after this call, y'all slide in the DMs like, oh, I forgot to listen, man. We here. This like it's one big family. We here. It doesn't matter, even if it's not talking to men, whatever you're struggling with in your business, let's just put it out there because we're here for solutions. That's it. We're here for solutions. And there's no way we can find a solution if we don't know what you're struggling with or what the problem is. So you got me. So ask away. It's all good.
Okay, well, thank you so much for that because I think we're all down to be here for another 2 hours. So glad that you committed to that already.
I'll just throw the Warriors game on and just kind of
yeah, just y'all get cozy. We're here for a little bit.
Yeah.
One more question that we actually had in the chat, and look, I'm that person. I don't want to slide into your DMs with the 10 questions that I have on my mind, so I'm gonna ask. But the one that we have in the chat right now is: do you, either you or Joe, is there any content that you suggest women, I don't know, post more of in order to target more of the men audience?
Heck yeah. I would post men actually using the products. That's the first thing that they say, man. Men don't use those. I'm like, okay, it's right here, And so that's what we just did a reel with all men using the oil in different ways, and showing that it is for the beard, it is for the skin, it is for the hair, it's for the tattoos or whatever you want to put it on. But yes, absolutely. I have a bunch. I know when I first started, I was flooding Instagram with all of the content, my nighttime routine, daytime routine. But definitely just there's a lot of content out there. I know Tony has a lot of content. EJ starting to put up some content. But yeah, follow us and you'll see all that content there and show that there's men actually doing this and using the product every day. Like this is not just a once a week thing. I use these like they're right here, like all day, every day. I don't use anything else, as far as like the shower, skincare, or anything. Like it's all Monet, and I use it every day.
Yeah, Kara just made a great point. Like before I even did the business, she was using the product on me, then posting it on her story, and got a lot more. Not saying a lot more reach out, but a lot more response. When you see a guy using products, it's something different. So, yeah, definitely showcasing the product on men.
Yeah, people like to see. I'm not saying you have to be a couple in order to do this, but couples reels are that those get a lot of plays. It doesn't matter how good or bad. Like people want to see couples reels. So even if you're not in a relationship, go find a cousin or a friend, and do a video with them. And then nobody be like, oh, you got a boyfriend now? Like, mind your business. He's just using the product, right? But I will find a man to do a couples reel with and just kind of go from there to show that there's men actually using the products. Whether you invite them over, hey, what you doing Wednesday? I ain't doing nothing. All right, come over. I'm gonna wash your face. I'm gonna wash your face, wash your beard, and wash your hair. Right. This is for content for my social media. That's it. That's how I do. As far as like watch parties or anything like that. My girl Monica, Tony Swingler's wife. I know you can see them in the baby. She just posted online and said, "Hey, I'm looking for some hair models," and she's washing 2 heads a day for the next 4 days. Because so many people hit him up like, I want to get my hair washed. I want to get my hair washed. She's like, hey, I'm looking for some hair models that just want their hair wash and a blowout. Her before and afters for today, amazing. Like she posted them in a group for the 2 people that came over. They were like, come over, I'm washing your hair. And they came over, she washed their hair, and boom, didn't ask them to buy anything or anything like that. Just washing their hair. That's an event right there. People think that you have to do these 60 people events. Event is just one person coming over and wash their hair. Hey, what you doing tonight, bro? You want to watch the game? Let's wash our beards together. The game is coming on tomorrow. What you doing, man? Bring your wife. I got some wine, and we're gonna wash our face, and we're gonna wash your hair. I just need some content for my social media. Boom. So it's simple. Find a man. Write this down. Find a man and do a reel together. Just go get some random dude. That dude y'all leave on red all the time. Just tell him, tell him you come over and wash his face.
That's awesome. Does anyone want to come off of mute and ask their question as opposed to dropping it in the chat?
Yes. So as far as connecting with more people when you go out in public, are you just walking up to them, hey, how are you doing? Or is it just regular sparking up a conversation and then let's exchange Instagrams?
Both. So I got this thing called Pedal to Success, where I have a fanny pack full of samples, and I ride my bike to the beach. I'm like 5 minutes from the beach. Ride my bike to the beach, and I ask, "Hey, you got a skincare routine?" No, I don't. No, yes, I do. You know, or I have a quiz, like the quiz. You have a skincare routine. What's your skin type? Oily, blah blah blah. And then I'll give them samples, and I say, "Hey, I have a non-toxic solution." And I, just kind of connect with them, and I'll give them samples. But when I go out in public, I usually go to the same stores, so I see the same people. And even when I go to new places, I build relationships with people. I don't just come out and speak about my name. I always ask people, "How's your day?" I'm like, "Thank you for your service. You did a great job today. What else do you do?" Like this, you have to do something else. But with the personality that you have, I know you're not just a cashier at the grocery store at Trader Joe's. I know you're not just a server at the whatever restaurant it is. I used to serve too, and you have a great personality. I know you do something else. Well, I'm in school, or no, not really. This is my only job. And that kind of opens it up to them being, open about an opportunity. I think you'll be great at what I do. I think you'd be great at what I do. I would love to give you some more information and see if this is a fit for you, but I feel like it is, right? And so really just connecting with people, asking them, what else do they do for a living? And they'll tell you. And then I find a way to fit my name into this. But I always tell people that I think that they will be great at what I do. And they usually ask, or every time I go out to eat, tax write-off, right? So I'll say, "Hey, do you have a few minutes for me to tell you what I do for a living, so I can write this lunch off or this dinner off as tax? Like this is tax write-off. Do you have a few seconds for me to just tell you what I do?" And then people will be like, "Yeah." We giving them a tip, right? So they usually say yeah, or they say, I'm super busy right now," and you can tell if they're busy. You cannot read the room. But when you tell people what you do, they like, "Oh, wow." And then they see me here all the time at random hours. They're like, "Shit, he's on here on a Tuesday at 11 and we're just open." Like, he's always here. He's never at a job, or he's never doing all of these things. So I always ask people, do they have a few minutes for me to tell them what I do so I can write this off as tax? But I meet people and I talk to people everywhere that I go. Deposit in relationships. That's what I was gonna say. Deposit into your relationships. I always say that. Deposit, deposit, deposit. Every time you see someone, say something positive or do something positive for them, right? Because the more you give, the more you give, the more you give, the better it is when it's time to receive from that person. But if you're just taking from that person, and then you ask them for something, they're like, "Man, listen, dude, all you do is take from me," right? But when you deposit in your relationships and you're adding value to people and you're adding, then when it's time for them to support you in any way or come to an event or you invite them to something, most likely they'll say yes.
Okay, so Jackie and I are like telepathically speaking, I think, because everything you just said, the one thing in my mind was, okay, well, what do you tell them? Like, what is your mission statement? And Jackie just said the same thing. Like, what's your spiel when you are telling people what exactly it is that you do?
It depends on who I'm talking to. Sometimes I say I take people from where they at and help them get to where they want to be. And they say, "How do you do that?" But I also say I help people get off toxic products. Like there's toxic skincare, hair care, and I have a non-toxic solution for them. Or I teach people how to live a healthier life. And they ask me, how do I do that? And I say through a company called Modern Nature. And then I talk a little bit more about, what it is. You can, And I kind of listen to people too, of of what they looking for in life, like, hey, how was your day? Or I was tired because of this. And I'm like, well, I help people power through their days. How do you do that? By with a non-toxic energy drink, right? And so I kind of ask the questions and kind of fit my Nate into what it is. So it really, there's no spill, there's no script in doing this. You just having real raw conversation with people where we make it weird. Like we try to, we overthink it and make it weird, but it's real raw. It's like however you would talk to your friend and invite them to the mall or invite them to the movies. It's kind of the same way you invite them to come take a look at what this is, right? I would love to invite you over to a watch party where we wash people hair. We wash hair, we do blowouts, we play games, we have fun. And nobody's gonna be like, oh, nah, I'm cool off of your watch party, or I'm cool off of getting around a bunch of people. But most likely when you build that relationship with that person, or you have a good energy with that person, you just have regular conversation. But I always say that I help people get off toxic products and give them a non-toxic solution, or help them live better, or I help people make an extra $500 a month by whatever it is, by sharing something that I use every single day. Just how you recommended that dish with the cheese and the bacon on top, I recommend certain products to people and they buy it. And then I kind of go into a little bit more, but I don't talk too much at the table. I leave some room for them, like curiosity. So I was like, hey, I know you're busy right now, but I would love to get your number. I would love for you to, we exchange Instagrams, and maybe a day that you're not working, we can sit down and grab lunch and I can tell you a little bit more about what I do. And then that's when the whole Meet My Nate pamphlet and everything, I can bring all of that and then just go through the 10 things of my Nate right there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that actually helps a lot, because we go through all the training of find your mission statement and what are you going to answer when someone asks what do you do, but it's brings more of an authentic, organic experience when you really just read the room and say exactly what you do, but you mirror what it is they're doing. I really like that angle that you are coming from with that. That helps me a lot, because I get really like,
it's because it's a lie. You can say a lie. What do you do? Like, oh shit,
right?
You really want to know, right? It's like, look, and I will give a little cliff note of what it is that we do, but also I say it's a lot, and I don't want to sit up here and word vomit on you. I'm very passionate about what I do, and this is kind of not the place, but I would love to sit down with you outside of work, or we have each other's undivided attention, and I can tell you about what I do, because I take it real serious. I mean, a lot of people kind of go in for the kill, because you feel like you're never going to see that person again. But I go to places that I know I'm going to see that person, or I say, hey, man, when you working next? I would love to come in and bring the family in. And right, it's like you know when that person is working, you can get that person again, and you're building relationship as you go and get served by that person.
Right.
What's up, Tina?
Hey, how are you?
What up?
Everybody, I met Penny through the lovely Tony Van Schoik, just connecting people as usual. Actually, it was back in November. How crazy is that?
Right.
But yeah, it's exciting. This is home to the element. So thanks for definitely coming on and being a part of this call. I know everybody is definitely learning so much from you. So we definitely appreciate your time.
Thank you. I love doing this. Seriously, like I've never done this, before my Nate, and connecting with people. But I mean, I'm just telling my story and my experiences, and I feel like that's great. And, at first you're like, man, what do I have to say? Like they're not gonna listen to me, right? But we're just doing what's work. We're talking about what's working for us and what's not working, so we can be better every day. So, like I said, we're one team. So don't feel like I know when we come into these things and we see people in these higher rankings and we feel like, like, oh, we can't have conversations with them, or they're too high up there. It's like what I learned about this company is we have servant leaders, like people that really care about people. And I don't mind doing this stuff. You know, this is what fuels me up. And like I said, I'll ask all the questions to you too. You know, like we're just learning from each other. Who else in here? Monica. We got a couple Monicas in here. Any other questions? Alicia, you ain't got no questions?
As soon as I get off this call, I'm gonna have like 10 questions pop up. I just know it. But this was awesome. This
So
really
we're
was
just gonna have to schedule another call, and that's just
part
gonna
2. Well,
Yes.
Joe, Antonio, thank you. Yeah, any last final words, please? I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no. Play big. Really play big. I don't care where you at in your business. I don't care what season you are in your life. You're alive, you're well, you have a story to tell. Don't feel like your story is not as good as somebody else's. Like F all of that. Okay. Play big. Don't leave anything out on the table. We're all here to add value, to support you. You can do anything with support. You know, this is the year. This is the Jordan year. So go all out. Know that you can do this. Believe. I always talk about the level of belief. You have to climb that ladder of belief. That ladder of belief is hopping on calls like this, right? Hopping on team trainings, even if it's the same shit over and over and over again, hop on it, because what you're doing is you're teaching other people how to show up. But the more that you plug in, the higher you go on the ladder, right? I always talk about this ladder. And if you take one step on the ladder and you look back, you have a different view, right? And if you keep, like, you get to My Nations, you're climbing up that ladder. You get into events, you're climbing up that ladder. And the higher you go and the higher you are, when you turn around, the more you can see, right? If I'm at the top of the ladder, I can see the whole city, right? And so have that level of belief. Know that you can do this. Crush those, whatever those limiting beliefs that you have in your head, get rid of them shits. I don't care. Like, and treat yourself better. Change the way you talk to yourself. Change the way you treat others. Change the way you treat yourself. Change the way that you do things, and positive change. And don't feel like you have to, you know, I know we all go through life. We all do. And, you know, we curl up in the ball and hide in the corner and push people away when we're going through it, right? I used to be that person, right? But I realized that that's what I needed people the most. That's what I needed people the most when I was going through that. But when I learned how to lean on my help and my support, everything changed for me. So I don't have any type of down moment I have people that's gonna pull me right back up. Okay. If anything is bothering me, I speak to my team about it, and they give me a different perspective, and vice versa. You know, people can come to me. There's no, you know, bad attitude or bad day. We have character building days, and just know that, you know, like, just play big and play all out. Don't leave anything on the table.
Fire. Mic
Well
drop.
said. Well said.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording.